You know, sometimes you just gotta stand back and look at the bigger picture. Roll the intro. G'day everybody, welcome back to the channel. Yes, you've noticed I have the same old hat on as usual, but hey, it's to cover the curls, guys. My hair, you know, haircuts only last me a week. Covers up the curls. But we're not here about the curls today, we're here about the large prints. The one behind me there, I took this one a while ago, and yeah, it's been sitting under my bed in a nice little protected spot, and I thought from the last episode I made on panoramics on how to get perfectly straight horizons, I thought what a way to carry on that sort of episode with talking to you guys about how to make your own prints, talk about how you can size your own prints, how to put your own borders on your own prints, and how to get your pictures ready for just the printing phase, to do with little dust spots or little things. Mostly we're gonna stick to the sizing and the borders, and I'll just throw in a couple of bonus tips and tricks as I'm going along, as they pop into my brain. As you've noticed here, we've got the laptop here, so I'm gonna be showing you guys all this stuff in Photoshop as well. So when it comes to you creating your own prints, you don't have to go to the Photoshop and let them do the borders and all sorts of things, because that'll start costing you money. So this will probably save you maybe a little bit of money if you're doing it yourself, and if you do it yourself, you're gonna get the results that you wanna get, because sometimes the Photoshops don't understand what you want as a creator. I know that I had a bit of trouble going with my borders, and I'm gonna go into frames as well and how to size your prints. So there's a little bit of maths involved, and oh, somebody's already left. Sorry. I promise you the maths isn't scary. It's really not hard. There's just a couple of things you need to understand, and there's not a lot of number crunching. Just a few aspect ratios that you need to know when it comes to borders. Okay, so I've actually got a smaller print here for you guys so I can show you before we get into the Photoshop. This is the exact same print that's on the wall, and what it is I'm gonna show you guys how to get this distance from the edge of the paper to the edge of the print, and also to size this exactly to what size you want it. So this will fit perfectly in the frame. I don't know if you can see here, but my camera shop has put a little 2 black marks on each corner, and that generally means that they print it slightly larger and you have to trim that off, which is not a drama. So it's always good to have a little bit more than a little bit less. But enough talking with the prints and the prints on the wall. Let's jump into the computer and let's see how we do that. Okay guys, once you've opened up Photoshop, there's a few things you want to do before you start opening new documents. The first thing you want to think of is, what size do I want my image to actually be? Now you can do this a few ways. Normally the best way, if you're going to buy your frames, you want to measure the frame that you've already bought, or if you're going to purchase it and you know the sizing, say if you were going to get a nice cheap frame from IKEA or something like that, you can go on their website and they'll give you the actual measurements of that frame that you want to buy. So you can go ahead with your prints and you can make your prints and then go get your frame and then bring it all together when you get home. Or the safest way is to probably buy the frame first, and then you can measure the frame, and then you can start creating what size picture and what size document we need to open. What we're going to be doing in Photoshop is determining the size of the picture. So you want to know the size of your frame first, and then we can open up a document that size. Okay, we first have to figure out what aspect ratio the frame is, and generally when you buy your frames, it's going to tell you it's a 5:7. That's normally my go-to sort of frame size, but you can get all different ones. You can get 2:3 or 4:6. It's the exact same ratio. You get 5:7, you can get square crop, that's like Instagram crop, or other sorts of different aspect ratios, but 5:7 is the one that I normally use. This print right here is a 5:7, and basically all it's saying is for every 5 parts this way, there's 7 parts across the top. So that's the first thing you need to know. Once you have your frame and you've got your measurement, that this here is 50 centimeters by 70 centimeters. So that's a 5:7 aspect ratio. So what we need to do when we open a new document, we need to go to File, New. Now it's going to bring up this box here, and what we can do here is the width. It's at pixels at the moment, but let's say we're going to change this to centimeters. This here is a 50 centimeters by 70 centimeters. So what we're going to do here is the width, because the width would be along the bottom because this is a landscape image. So we'll go 70 centimeters, and this one will be 50 centimeters. Now there's a few other things here. This resolution, this number here is how many pixels per inch or per square inch. So you'll see it in another, this one says here pixels/inches, and you got pixels per centimeter. Just leave it on pixels per inch. If you've ever heard of the term DPI, that's dots per inch, or PPI is pixels per inch. So what that's saying, for every inch of photo, there's 300 pixels in that little small area. So when we're creating this document, we're saying we want it to be 50 centimeters by 70 centimeters, and we want the resolution to be 300 pixels per inch. So we're gonna press, we've got 70 by 50, 300 DPI, and it's a white background. You can click create. Okay, so now, if you think about it, that's the full size of the paper that you want. So the next thing we need to do is find an image and bring that into Photoshop. So let's do that. This is where we want to resize our image, and this is where I was talking about there's a little bit of math, and please don't be scared about the math. It's really not that hard. It's literally, 1 + 1 sort of stuff. So all we need to know is if it's 50 centimeters by 70 centimeters, and we need to just decide, all we need to decide is what size border we need. So do we want 2 centimeter border, 3 centimeter border? Let's just say, for this example, let's say this white area here from the edge of the paper to the edge of the image is 2 centimeters. And it's 2 centimeters this side, and it's 2 centimeters on the other side. So that's 4 centimeters in total. And on the top and bottom, it'd be 4 centimeters. So that's our border. We want a 2 centimeter border. So if we know that the paper is 70 centimeters long, we need to minus 4 centimeters off. Now, when we come to cropping this image, it says 4:6 up here, but let's change this to width and resolution. Now, it comes out of the camera as 4:6. Now we want it to be 4 centimeters less than 70 by 50. Now, if we go 70 centimeters minus 4, that'll give us 66. Then the next one will be 50 minus 4 centimeters, which is your border. So it'll be 46. Now this is your crop, right? So if you look up here, 66, that's 4 less than 70, and 46 is 4 less than 50. So I'm hoping you get what I'm talking about, but if the paper's 50 by 70, then we need to make the image 46 by 66. So that's why we need to crop this image so that it fits onto this paper with the correct border all the way around. So what we need to do is now we have our 66 by 46. It doesn't matter at this point about what the size of the image is, we just need the numbers to match. It doesn't matter if this was centimeters or inches or pixels, it doesn't matter, as long as this is just a ratio we're talking about. This is not a pixels. So once we have 66 by 46, let's make sure delete cropped pixels are on. Press enter. Now that's cropped that image to that ratio. Now the next thing we want to do is we want to resize the actual pixels. Like we opened up in the first document, we had 300 DPI. So now we need this to be 46 by 66 in 300 DPI. So it fits on the paper and the borders match in the correct measurements. So if we go to image, we go to image size. Now it's got pixels here at the moment selected, but let's change that to centimeters. And let's change the width to 66. And you'll see, because it has this link already on here, it's automatically changed the height to basically 45.99. And the resolution, we want to change that. We want to change that to 300. This part here might upscale your image a little bit if you're printing it very large. Photoshop will actually crunch all numbers, and if your image is smaller than what you're asking it to be, it will sort of upscale it. You'd obviously, if you're going to do an iPhone image or something small and then you're going to blow it up something that size, it might get weird sort of artifacts and stuff, so I suggest you don't blow it up too much past what the original size of the document is. Once you've got to that, let's just press OK, and that's going to resize your image. What you can do now, we have this. We have our other document up here, which is our paper. So we're going to unlock this layer with a little, press that little unlock, little padlock, and you can just click and drag this layer, hover over this one, and then when you bring it down, before you let go, just hold shift. That's your image on your paper. Now if you didn't hold down shift and it dropped in a weird angle, and see these little crop bars at the moment, that's because we're still in the crop tool, so when we click off of that, that'll disappear. Now if you dropped your image and it dropped, you didn't hold down shift and it dropped like this, no problems at all. We have to go make sure that this layer 1 is selected, which is your picture. You need to go Control A, that will select all. Make sure you're on the move tool, and then up here you can see these little things. You press that, that will center the image that way, and then you go over to this one, that'll center the image that way. Once it's centered, you can press Control D to deselect, and there you have it. That is, your paper is 50 centimeters by 70 centimeters, and your image is 2 centimeters in, 2 centimeters in, all the way around. So that means you're going to have a 2 centimeter border all the way around, but your total image is going to be whatever you want it to fit in your frame that we thought about at the very start. But once you're happy with this, then just make sure, you know, just go through, just zoom in, make sure you're happy there's no little marks. You see there's a little mark here. You probably want to go to this tool, spot healing brush. Just make the bracket keys, just make that a little bit bigger. You know, just click. Just tidy all those little dots and things up if you're going to print. See there's a little dust mark here. You want to get rid of that stuff. You just want to click away. Click away. And then once you're happy with it, you go to B for brush tool. If anyone's just watched my last episode on custom signatures, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about with this. There we go. My custom brush. White. Bang. And that is it. That's how you create custom borders, your own size, and your own, that's how you rescale your own images to suit the paper that you want. Okay guys, before I go, I think I might eventually give this print away. I'm trying to grow this channel, so if we can get to 100 subscribers, then I'm probably going to give this photo away to someone. And when we get to 100 subscribers, I'll let you guys know about how we're going to do that. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you want to know of anything photography, or you want me to do any episodes of things that you want to learn on, leave them down in the comments below. Don't forget to hit the little notification bell so you don't miss any future episodes. And that's where I'm going to leave it, guys. I think I need to get a haircut so I can get this hat off my head. Alright, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.